Hi, this is Dr. Trey Moeller, Superintendent of Galena Schools. Welcome to another episode of Bulldog Moments. I'm excited today to have Senior Chloe Harnar with me for this particular conversation. Chloe is very involved in a number of activities at our high school, including athletics and some leadership opportunities. Recently, Chloe has been identified as one of the top 1% of our seniors in the entire state of Kansas, recognized as a Governor's Scholar just recently in Topeka, Kansas. So, Chloe, welcome to this episode of Bulldog Moments.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So Chloe, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and we'll get started with one that sometimes they're nonsensical, not always nonsensical though, right? Okay, it's this or that, and you pick which one, and then you can explain why or not. You can just leave us hanging, and guessing why you might have picked that particular one. So for our this and that in this conversation, Chloe, let's see. How about novels or poetry?
I would say novels.
Novels.
I just think novels, there's more time to do a more in-depth storyline. Although poems can be pretty, deep, but I just like reading novels better.
Oh, thank you. Well, Chloe, I like novels too, as long as they're less than half an inch thick for me to get through the storyline. Actually, I love poetry though, so that's a piece that maybe we're not totally different, but probably would have picked a little bit different one if it was me for that. So anyway, so a couple questions then. You've been a Galena Bulldog, man, like your whole life, right? Yeah. So what are some things that make you proud to be a Galena Bulldog?
I think the main thing is how supportive the community is of our school, and when we have any special events like the Special Olympics and stuff like that, we line up in the hallways and cheer everybody on. So that's what I would say is everyone is just really supportive of everyone, and the community is always involved.
Right. Yeah. It's great to feel everybody supporting everybody else, no matter what the activity is. We've seen a number of different send-offs that you've mentioned at the high school: Special Olympics, band competition, athletic teams. It really is cool to see all the students supporting each other no matter what that particular activity is. Yeah. So here you are, a senior, right? Starting to think about what's next and what so many people have done for you. Is there a teacher in particular, or maybe some teachers that you feel appreciative of the things that they've done for you, or especially appreciative?
Yeah. I would say Mr. Meyer is the best math teacher ever, and the way he teaches is really helpful. And then Miss Spencer taught me English, and everything she taught was super beneficial, especially for my college class. It helped prepare for that. So
yeah, super. Do you know I was a high school math teacher?
you were?
Yeah, so you when you mentioned Mr. Meyer, that kind of makes me jealous, I'm not sure I ever had a student say, yeah, man, Moeller, he was my favorite math teacher,
Oh, man.
We sure tried to be as good as we could in the classroom. That's great. So, Chloe, here you are. I mean, you're a Governor's Scholar, you're an athlete, you do all this leadership thing. I mean, you put in a lot of time and effort into the successes that you have. When we think about those successes, was there ever a time when things just were tough? Maybe they didn't seem fair to you, but now that you've kind of worked your way through it and you look back on those moments, you're thinking, yeah, that was a time that really helped me, that I'm actually glad I kind of had to go through that because it made me better. Was there ever a time like that for you?
Yeah, definitely. Just recently in high school, just going through all of my harder classes, I was a lot more stressed out than I normally was in the previous years. And overall, it definitely made me stronger and persevere more through the harder harder stuff, and it definitely prepared me like for college, just realizing that, you know, some teachers teach differently and like getting to experience different ways that they teach. So
Yeah, so you like that having to work through and then developing that perseverance,
yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah, because man, sometimes life after high school, there can be some tough times, and that perseverance will be really, really important. You know, you mentioned college. I'm curious. So what's next for Chloe? I mean, you know, we're a couple weeks from graduation, and you know, what are some of your plans as you leave us here at Galena Schools?
Yeah. So I want to go to Drury University. It's in Springfield, and I want to major in graphic design and maybe some like marketing minor. And then I'm going to be on their stunt team. So it's stunts with tumbling, and so that's going to be a new experience for me, and so I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I bet there's going to be some hard work involved
Definitely.
with that, right? Maybe some early morning practices and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Chloe, you know, we certainly hope that there are younger students that might see this, or other students at Galena Schools. As you think about them and their future success, what's some advice that you would give younger students that if they follow it, they could experience some success?
For me, it was just always pushing to be the best me that I could be. And like in my, like when I was in like 5th grade and like elementary school, I would always just try to do my best on every test, and no matter what your past test grade was, try to do better on your next, and that's what helped me. And then I tried to just, you know, carry that through.
Wow. So there's this whole piece about no matter what yesterday was, or what happened in the past, you're gonna go from right here and just be as good as you possibly can.
Yes.
And sounds like you're measuring yourself against yourself. So where am I today, and how can I be better tomorrow? Wow, that's great. Great advice. You know, Chloe, I've asked you a couple questions. Now I'll give you an opportunity. Is there a question that you would want to ask me before we stop the video?
I think I would like to ask you, what's like your favorite Bulldog activity that we have at our school?
My favorite Bulldog activity? Yeah. Wow. You know, that's an interesting question, right? Because for me personally, like when I was younger, when I was a student, I loved football, and I mean that was, you know, I was lucky enough to play high school and college football, and that was something that was really, really important to me. My classes might have been a little different, you know, like you like the marketing and some of that English language arts, reading, and some of the marketing pieces that you've mentioned. Mine, it was like physics, you know. I was probably never good enough to be like on the quiz bowl team, right? So now to come back to answer your question, you know, really as an educator, what my favorite activities are the ones that create opportunities for our students, you know, really to do what you were talking about in your advice, get better every day. You know, if we can have an activity where students have the opportunity to become the best version of themselves. Great words, by the way, borrow those from you real quick. But yeah, any activity where students have the opportunity to become the best version of themselves, those are my favorites. Because I know we all have personal preferences. You know, I loved football as a young person. I loved being in the band too, by the way, when I was in high school. But somebody might not love football like I love football. Someone might not love band. You know, someone might not love tumbling like they do. But really, just having that opportunity, no matter what a student might be in love with, to do that. Did I ramble long enough on that one? Yeah, all right.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, you're nice. I sure do appreciate that. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Bulldog Moments. I'm Dr. Trey Moeller,
I'm Chloe Harnar.
And we are Bulldogs.